Welcome to Reach the World ASAP. My name is Pastor Scott Griswold, and this is Pastor Tom Evans next to me, and we're in the country of Laos. Tom has been able to join us in Thailand and in Laos on a mission trip, and I'm really excited to have him share with you what's been going on. All right, Tom, you're a busy man. You are running around all over the country with church planting conferences. You work for NADI, North American Division Evangelism Institute, there in Berrien Springs, Michigan, serving on boards, doing different things. Why on earth would you take a week out of your busy schedule to take off with us on a mission trip?
Well, Pastor Scott, I absolutely love ASAP Ministries and have been involved for many years, really supporting ASAP Ministries. And so that was a big motivation. If I'm the board chair, I better make it over to Southeast Asia. But there's another reason. In North America, there are many immigrant groups, refugees, that have been coming in. And many of those are from Southeast Asia. And so to be able to experience firsthand their living, their lifestyle here, what it's like, the culture, the politics, the food, to experience all those things, even if it's for a brief time, I think is a good way to equip myself to understand better the conditions that those coming to the United States have been coming from.
So we've been having some good times, some fun times. What have you enjoyed most on the trip so far?
Actually, your son has been a lot of fun. It's been great to know him. My boys are friends with him, so that's been a lot of fun. But I love the markets. To me, this is the best way to experience a culture. And it's just been fun to see all the variety of things, and the prices are so low. It's crazy. My bags are already filled up. But to see some unusual things in the market, pigs just roasting right there. But I think the biggest surprise was probably the deep fried grasshoppers and cockroaches. Kind of turned my stomach a little bit there, and some live crickets. I'm not sure if those are to be eaten live or taken home for pets. I don't know, but it's been a lot of fun going to the markets.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun. Some things are intended to be fresh, but then to be cooked at home. Okay. So I hope that's the case. So you've had the experience of being in Thailand and Laos for our training of our lay workers, our church planters. What stands out in your mind? Stories of people, individuals, what jumps to your mind about this group of people seeking to serve God?
Well, I met somebody, one of the ASAP church planters, whose name is Mushroom Pastor. At least that's what the community calls him, because he's a mushroom farmer. He works as a pastor and also sells mushrooms in the market. Well, it was very interesting because there was a lady at church who also sells things in the market, and she'd made a friendship with the pastor and was invited to church. This was her third Sabbath. Wow. And so I was able to share with her that I'd been to the market, and I noticed the grasshoppers, the deep-fried grasshoppers, and I asked her if she liked them, and she smiled and nodded her head. So I don't know if she understood me, but it was so wonderful to meet somebody that was, that intentional strategy that had been developed of interacting and meeting people in the market through selling produce in the market actually seems to be bearing fruit. And so that's very exciting to see.
So I was noticing the incredible warmth of the group as we fellowshiped together, ate lunch together, they were connected, and you could tell this was a place people would want to come. What was your impression of the church planter that was leading out?
I was amazed. I've met leaders, pastors from around the world, and rarely have I seen such a passion for souls. You saw him sharing stories. He would tear up, and then he would you'd just see this joy come across his face. I saw him make an appeal to somebody who'd been away for 10 years, and he said, "It's time to make your decision. You've tried everything else. God is your only answer now." And just to see him have the boldness and to be in touch with the Holy Spirit to know when to make that appeal. I was just so impressed with this young man and how God is using him. He's a humble man, and yet he's so gifted, and doing this for so little compared to what he could make doing something else. In fact, I think he left a very successful career to be a church planter at the ASAP. So what a blessing to have pastors like this planting churches.
Amen. When we were out looking at some property, we had the chance to stop at a Buddhist temple, and it was beautiful, gorgeous place, and you said something that was really profound. I want our listeners to hear it.
Well, here we are in Laos, a very small country, but what a challenge in terms of sharing the gospel. There's Buddhist temples everywhere, and that's welcomed and embraced by the people, but Christianity is very dangerous to share, as well as you have to be very careful in terms of what you do. There are cases where people who shared the gospel have ended up in prison as a result temporarily. But it's exciting to see that God's work is moving forward. And I remember as we landed in Bangkok, I saw a sign as I was going through immigration that said, "You're entering the land of Buddha," with all sorts of recommendations in terms of what you're not to do to defame him in any way. But also you see in the morning as people are preparing their meals, they prepare something for the monks and are waiting there for the monks to come by and pick up their food. So it's a very different experience than what we're used to in the Western world. And yet God's work must go forward because people need the hope and the peace that comes only from Jesus.
It's been really fun for me, Tom, to have you come along. It's been a great trip. We'll never forget it. And just to have you so supportive, both back in the States with your church planting seminars, calling people to support workers, and now to come out, I really appreciate it. What would you share with our listeners as far as how they can get involved from the other side of the world?
You know, I see there's a great need for sponsoring national workers. What a national worker can do to reach people here in these countries is absolutely amazing. They're able to do what we can't do. And so as you support a national worker, you're able to see people far from God, without hope, without peace in their life, come to know Jesus. And so to me, that's the priority, is supporting national workers. However, there's some amazing special projects as well. I think about one of the well projects recently that just opened up a whole village to receiving the gospel and to be open to Christianity. So watch out for some of those special projects through ASAP's newsletter. Also, the chance to come here in person, there's nothing like seeing it on the streets, meeting the church planters, meeting the leaders of the church here, and seeing the difference this is making in their lives. It's truly transformational, and you'll be hooked. You'll want to come back again and again, which I plan to do. Want to encourage you to continue to remember ASAP and the ministry here in these countries in your prayers. The opportunities are amazing, and you can partner to see God's work go forward in a powerful way.
So there you have it. There's a lot that every one of us can do, and together we will reach the world ASAP.